Welcome to Faith at Work, the podcast where we inspire and equip professionals to live out their Christian faith in the workforce. Whether you're navigating leadership, balancing work-life challenges, or looking to make a deeper impact, we're here to equip and guide you on how to bring your faith into work. Now here's your host, the director of the Unity Foundation in Alexandria, Minnesota, Kelsi Tim.
Today I'm joined with Brad VanderTuin, and he's the president of Aagard, and he's also on the Unity Foundation board. Brad brings a powerful perspective on leadership, both in business and faith. And we're going to be diving in today. We're going to be talking about the Global Leadership Summit and why it's made a lasting impact on him, how it's shaped his team, and why he believes it's worth attending. So whether you're leading a business, a ministry, or simply looking to grow, this conversation will challenge and inspire you. So no pressure, Brad, but welcome.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
Well, let's get started. First of all, how did you first get connected to the Global Leadership Summit, and maybe just let people know what this is?
The Global Leadership Summit is a 2-day event. It's simulcast across the country and really around the world with great leadership speakers on a variety of topics. We host, the Unity Foundation hosts a site here in Alexandria. So we get a group together and share that experience over those 2 days. We've been hosting it in Alexandria since 2015. I believe my first year attending was 2016.
So we can call you an OG.
Maybe.
We totally. 'Cause this will be my third time attending the Global Leadership Summit. And some people are like, yeah, what is it? I'm like, have you ever heard of Craig Groeschel? And they'll be like, oh, yeah. And he's got a role to play in
larger
this.
than life. Yes. He is always one that gets everybody going.
Yeah. So Brad, what makes you keep coming back, and what value do you see for having people attend this event?
Yeah, for me, these 2 days give me so much content to digest over the coming year. New podcasts to listen to, certainly a reading list. A lot of these people are authors. And training content that we share with our team here at Aagard.
Can you share a moment or talk about the summit that deeply impacted you?
You know, as I think about the speakers that I've heard of over the years, there's so many that really resonate with me. And like we said, Craig Groeschel is always one that gets me excited. But Patrick Lencioni is one that I've really enjoyed over the years. And a couple years ago, he shared his working genius model. And that has had a great application at work, but also has really impacted my marriage as well, about applying those principles within the marriage relationship.
Oh, that's really neat. I haven't heard of him. In what ways have you grown personally or professionally by attending GLS? And you just alluded to that a little bit, but is there anything else you'd like to add?
Yeah, the content does challenge me as a leader for sure. But like I said, probably more importantly, on the personal side, there's been so much to help me understand myself. And what I've learned is by understanding myself, that's really allowed me to understand my relationships and how who I am impacts my relationships with others.
Mm-hmm. That's really good. So, Brad, I know that Aagard, and there's other companies too that really pour into leaders and bring a big team to this summit. And so how has bringing your team really impacted Aagard?
Yeah. So we attend as a leadership team. And, you know, it's a shared experience. Anytime we can do events like this together, it's a shared experience and builds relationships, but it also gives us a common language. As we're learning this content, we can bring that back and continue that conversation. And, you know, really we use that in the future to think about training opportunities for our larger team.
So building off of that, have you seen any ripple effects in your workplace or organization because of what people have experienced at GLS?
Yeah, it's really that leadership and growth mindset. Some of what Craig Groeschel talks about is everybody wins when the leader gets better. And we really need to invest in ourselves as leaders so that we can then serve the company better.
So after your team attends, Brad, what does a debrief look like for you and your team after the event? Because really it is a high. It's such a fun, jam-packed 2 days. Like you're sitting under a fire hose. There's tons of energy. And then there's the letdown, Monday morning rolls. So how do you and your team unpack what you experienced?
Yeah, we evaluate and rank each session one at a time and determine if there's follow-ups needed from each of those sessions, and then also what we want to share with a broader team. And we subscribe to the Team 365 service, which gives us access to the content over the coming year and also be able to share that with teams.
Well, and that's a perk actually too. When you get a ticket, you do have access to all of the sessions afterwards to go back and re-listen to as well. And maybe you don't have a budget for what you're talking about, but you also get that besides attending.
Yeah, for 7 days, I believe you get. So you can go back and review, or if you miss a session because your schedule doesn't allow you to be there the whole time, a lot of people will end up, coming back during that week and catching up.
Yeah. So from a team perspective, again, I think let's talk about what you just talked about and how, some people are like, oh man, I can't actually take 2 days off of work. And so is it okay to only come for one of the days or for part of the time?
Yeah, certainly. It's a very open format. We're not taking attendance. But we see people coming and going. As leaders, we all have busy schedules, and people need to duck out for meetings or calls or things like that. And so throughout the day, we see people coming and going just as their schedule allows. And it's really like I said, an open format that allows that to happen pretty naturally.
Yeah. And unfortunately, you don't get a discount if you can't be there the whole time. You do have to pay the full price.
Yeah.
But okay, from a community and a local impact, Brad, why do you think it's significant that we host this locally here in Alexandria?
I think hosting this locally is such a great opportunity for our area and for the leaders in our area. While we're still watching on a screen, we're doing it together and we're learning together. And we get to talk about the content. And, it's also much easier to invite someone to come to an event when it's local. So, rather than suggest this to somebody that they should go to it, invite them to come along with you. And doing that in the local environment and again, the relationships that are built has really been a fun growth aspect for me personally, but I've seen that in others in the area as well.
Yeah. So how does Global Leadership Summit align with the mission of the Unity Foundation? Because this really is the biggest event that we do every single year.
Yeah, so our values of the Unity Foundation are servant leadership, integrity, prayer, passion, mentorship, and relationships. And I see this hitting the servant leadership value, certainly as we build leaders. We're serving our teams. And so again, back to that quote from Craig Rochelle, everybody wins when the leader gets better. That it really is, building ourselves as leaders and ultimately servant leaders. The passion, coming to this event, it builds passion, it builds energy as we come to this event. And again, doing it together. And if you can bring your team, that certainly helps there as well. The mentorship piece of just growth, and we're investing in others. We're bringing other people with us, and then using this content to help people after the fact. And then relationships, certainly coming together for these 2 days. We're building relationships with our teams, but again, across the community, we're building networks to support each other in our individual businesses as well.
So this year's event, I'm going to project. I'm being optimistic, but I think this is going to be our best year yet.
I agree with you.
Okay, good. I'm happy we're on the same page with that. But what are you looking most forward to for this Global Leadership Summit?
I think V is going to be a great venue for this event this year. And we've got some extras that we're adding this year with the lunches that are included with the registration and the panel discussion that we have on Friday morning. These are going to provide great opportunities, extra opportunities for those attending for extra content, but also to learn from each other.
Well, you forgot to mention probably one of the most important things, and that's going to be free specialty coffee drinks.
Coffee. Caffeine will help.
Coffee, but it's not just coffee. We have sponsors that will be covering the cost of a specialty drink for each person this year. And then also we're going to be doing a refresher hour in the afternoon, and the Nice Juicery is going to be providing us with mocktails. So really, it's a one-stop shop. You don't have to leave if you don't want to. We're going to have coffee, lunch will be provided, and tons of refreshment. So I'm all about the hospitality piece, so I'm really excited about that.
Yeah, it's going to be a great couple days.
So looking at the lineup of speakers, Brad, is there anybody that you're really excited to hear?
Well, we've mentioned Craig a couple of times and don't want to, just have to keep repeating that, but that's always a great one. John Acuff is going to be back. I've really enjoyed him in the past. Juliet Funt. But there's usually an unknown surprise in there as well. Somebody that I don't recognize going in, but it really comes out as one of the highlights and just exposure to somebody new that I haven't heard of before.
You know, I've heard Christine Kane speak in person. I attended a women's event, and actually the Lord used her message. It was an area in my life that I needed to surrender to him, and I just totally got freedom in that moment. I had no idea till I went back home, but she's a real powerhouse too and real grounded in the word. So she'll be a great addition to this year's lineup.
Yeah, and I think that's the fun part about this is while they have the speakers' names listed, they don't have the content and what they're going to be talking about, and you will be challenged and you know, surprised by some of those things that hit you that you maybe weren't expecting to be talked about.
Yeah. What would you say to someone who's never been to GLS before and is on the fence about attending?
Well, I would say just come and try it, and if you don't like it, you don't have to come back for day 2, but you will.
That's fair.
But
That's
you will.
fair. I would agree. Okay, so there's obviously a personality difference here. I'm way more on the extroverted side. Where would you find yourself?
I am on the introvert side.
Okay.
Yes.
I didn't want to stereotype you, but I was going to say that, and based off of your profession.
Yeah.
So for an extrovert, it's people everywhere. But it's a big enough venue for an introvert. If you need to hide and get a break from people, there's plenty of space to do that as well. And I can promise you there's going to be a really great welcoming team that won't be too much in your face, but we'll definitely make sure you feel comfortable and you know your way around the venue. And you don't have to be alone. We can find you a buddy if you want one.
Yeah, and I've talked to people that have come for the first time that, you know, coming into it, they've asked me questions. They don't really know what they're getting into. But after it was over, he said to me, this was so much more than expected. And as I sat through this, I thought there are so many people that I know that should be sitting in this room with me. So really a testament, I think, to how it can apply to a lot of different people. And yeah, whether you're an introvert or extrovert, there's a place for you here for sure.
Yeah. And I would actually take that too. This isn't just for high level leaders. Or you don't have to be managing people. Like if you want to grow in leadership, this event is for you. You can be fresh out of college. I'm actually going to be making my teenagers come to this event. It's all about investing in yourself, and the return on that is always great.
Yeah, my wife Leah has attended for the last several years, and just it's helped her as she just learns more about herself and more about relationships, but also helps me, again, have somebody else that I can talk to about this content and just kind of process it. So it's been a fun thing that we've been able to do together.
It's like a date weekend, but it's not the weekend. How do you call that? Date days.
Yeah. I don't get credit as a date, though.
It doesn't? No. Maybe you got to bring flowers and some chocolate.
Maybe that will
I'll
help.
have your back with the chocolate.
All right.
So just bring the flowers. So in closing, what's one word or phrase that sums up what the global leadership has meant to you?
My word would be challenging, because I am always challenged by what I hear. I'm encouraged, but I'm also challenged. And, you know, what can I do? What can I lean into this year? What new thing have I been exposed to that I need to learn from?
That's great, because growth happens in the uncomfortable.
Yeah,
right?
For sure.
Otherwise, we just stay complacent. And so for people to get more information, that is on our website. It's unityfoundation-alexandria.com. And I'm going to put you on the spot real quick, but maybe just do high-level overview of like schedule, because maybe people still aren't quite sure what we're all talking about. Like what from when you walk into the door.
All right, so we'll have the doors open early. There'll be coffee, as Kelsi said. The doors will open at 9. We get registered, you get your name tag, time to talk. Sessions start at 10 o'clock. And so we got one session before lunch. Then we'll break for lunch. We'll have lunch there provided for you. Sessions start up again at 1:15. Run a couple sessions in the afternoon, and we are done at 4:45 on day 1. 9 o'clock on day 2, we're going to open up, and we're going to have a panel discussion. We're going to have some people that have attended before, that are implementing faith in the workplace, and just a conversation about what they're doing. We'll have questions available. So just a great panel discussion. Session will start at 10 o'clock. Again, have lunch provided. and we wrap up on day 2 at 4:15.
Yeah, and I'm really excited about the panel because you hear all these phenomenal speakers. They do this for a living. And then you're like, well, I live in rural Minnesota. How can I do this? Or are there people that actually are living out their faith in the workforce? And so that's going to be a panel of people from all different spectrums of the workforce, and they're going to be sharing what that looks like for them. So you're not going to want to miss that on Friday morning.
Yeah, there'll be a great time together.
Yeah, so anything else that you can think about that we could twist somebody's arm to attend Global Leadership this year?
Again, it's 2 days. It's a big commitment. I know, as we look at summer in Minnesota, we look at 2 days in our schedule. But I will tell you, you will not be disappointed that you set the time aside and join us, and you will put it on your calendar again for next year because it will be that impactful. So just make the commitment, come and join us, and we look forward to having you with us.
Yeah, we can't wait to see you. And again, our website is unityfoundation-alexandria.com. Well, thanks, Brad, for sharing your experience, and it's going to be a great Global Leadership Summit.
Yes, we'll see you all in a few weeks.
Thank you for joining us on Faith at Work. We hope today's episode has inspired and equipped you to live out your faith in the workforce. Don't forget to subscribe, share with a friend, and join us next time as we continue to equip you on your journey of faith at work. Faith at Work brought to you by the Unity Foundation. Learn more at unityfoundation-alexandria.com.